Girl about town Anna Bowden is in serious trouble. She's 15 grand in debt and she can't stop spending.
I just want to pay it all off, and it's horrible that I can't.
It's time to call in expert help. Benjamin Fry and Jay Hunt have 4 weeks to transform Anna from a serial spender to a serious saver. Jay Hunt, shopping and lifestyle expert, will show Anna how to spend small and still give it large.
Coming in under budget.
Psychological coach Benjamin Fry will dig deep to find the reasons behind Anna's overspending.
And I'm sure that's all true, but it's like I would rather just forget my childhood and move on.
It's a very expensive habit. So can Benjamin and Jay cure Anna of her addiction? 29-year-old Anna Bowden is single and lives in a shared flat in North London. She's a freelance project manager in the city, and with her debts mounting, she's in desperate need of a money makeover. To kickstart Anna's 4-week trial, she's agreed to let lifestyle guru Jay Hunt and psychological coach Benjamin Fry rifle through her flat while she's out. While they haven't met Anna, a rummage through her possessions should give them some valuable clues to her personality and her spending habits.
I do feel a little bit vulnerable, actually, just to think that, I mean, that's my own personal space. In fact, I've only got a little tiny room and all my belongings in the entire world are in that little room.
Anna is fast approaching 30, but still shares a flat with 3 others. In a vain attempt to hammer down costs, they've turned the lounge into a 4th bedroom. This is not a des res.
So this is the kitchen area, which is the only shared area in the whole house.
Right, this is all they've got between them for 4
isn't
people.
It is like being in a student flat. You kind of imagine that everybody lives here is going to be 19.
Shall we have a look in her cupboard?
Jay is keen to find out where the money is going, while Benjamin wants to learn more about Anna's state of mind.
Oh, it is. It's like, oh, no.
What do you make of that, Jay?
Oh, it's a real mess, isn't it?
Well, what's interesting is that shows how she's kind of spilling out of her own space just in this room, which I see...
Nobody else has.
I see this as a bit of a metaphor for the way that her life is organised.
Look at the state of that cooker.
It's not really a place that speaks of a person with an established identity on the cusp of her 30th birthday, is it?
No way.
Well, shall we go and have a look in her room, see what we can find there?
Why do I not think it's going to be any better?
As the experts continue to despair, Anna is beginning to realise just what she's let herself in for.
But I can't sit here and say I'm thrilled about the idea of someone going through all my stuff at home, as I'm sure anyone else in the world would be, but there's some real clues there, you know, into my personality, so I think they'll pick up on those. Hopefully in a positive light.
It's obvious that Anna's approach to tidiness is as carefree and wild as her finances.
Oh, my Lord. God, what a mess!
Yeah, more spillage.
It's just jammed with stuff. How can anybody possibly know what is in here? If you're in the morning, what am I going to wear? There's no way she rifles through all of this. I bet none of this stuff would have ever been worn. Look at the way all this stuff's treated. Yeah. It's like a bloody junkyard.
Well, she's a real sign of a disorganised life, isn't it? Just stuff everywhere. When you look in someone's wardrobe, you can really get a sense of what's inside their mind. And that cupboard reminds me a lot of her cupboard in the kitchen.
It's organised chaos, because in my mind I know where everything is, but obviously someone else would come along and they'd be like, oh my God, how does she live?
Anna might live like a student, but she longs to graduate to a place of her own.
Look. That's interesting.
That's a lot nicer place to live than here, isn't it?
So you're lying in this dump.
Dreaming of that.
Dreaming of nice places that you could be living in.
Yeah.
With your own room and, ooh, a living room that you could actually live in.
So clearly she has an ambition to get out of here.
I feel, yes, I'm roughing it with my accommodation. I'm quite happy to share with 3 other people and, you know, share the bathroom and have a nice room with cool housemates, because I know that this is just a short-term solution.
Anna insists she's happy making do, although reading between the lines and around the walls tells Benjamin a different story.
But what struck me really was the collection of videos, Chocolat, Moulin Rouge and Casablanca, all about women going out into the world and creating a slightly different sense of reality. And here is a card. It says, "A career is a job that has gone on too long." And underneath all of this, dominating the end of her bed, the thing she wakes up and looks at every day, is this topographical map of the world. Really, this just speaks, again, of escape, wanting to get out. And if you were stuck in this room with no living room, maybe you would want to escape.
All her housing stuff, all her phone bills. Yep, all her statements. I tell you what, I'm going to take that with us. But that is weird, I'm telling you, because for somebody who doesn't give a stuff and lives like this is kind of like a really organised file.
It is, isn't it?
OK.
The bank statements reveal that Anna overspends on just about everything, bar the kitchen sink. And the cooker, obviously.
God, there's loads in there, I tell you, there's plenty for us to get going with.
Anna can't start the day without a coffee, a grande problem that just won't go.
I'm totally addicted to coffee. I love coffee. Coffee just gives me a huge surge in energy and then a massive low. So when I get my massive low, I'm like, right, I need to buy another one. Take-out coffees are a huge expense. I could easily be spending, you know, 50 quid a week just on coffee. Easily, probably more actually, yeah.
She's spending money like it's going out of fashion, which probably explains the 50 skirts, 100 tops and 50 pairs of trousers. She just can't stop spending.
I think it's a necessity. I think it's a compulsive disorder of some kind that she's picked up, actually. She has to buy something.
All of this.
All of it.
And more.
And more even. That's £285.
Bargain.
I think it's impossible for Anna to buy one thing. She usually goes out for, let's say, a skirt, but she'll come back with 3 or 4 skirts.
But most of all, she loves to eat out.
Coconut mussels as well as the finger prawns.
Yeah. Are you alright with putting heads of the prawns?
Yeah, oh yeah. Messier the better.
Especially when it comes to that lethal combination of seafood and champagne. With her excessive spending and £15,000 worth of debt, Anna's dream of her own place is proving elusive.
She spends money like water. I think she should rein herself in a little bit because I worry that one day she'll just be living with loads of coats and bags and shoes
And no
in a
roof.
box. Yeah.
She'll be the most accessorised homeless person ever.
Yeah. I think she will. Definitely.
It wouldn't be the first time Anna's hung around a shop doorway. Having scoured the accounts, Jay and Benjamin know she's deep in the red and not looking rosy. Over the next 4 weeks, Benjamin and Jay want Anna to get her spending under control. As a wake-up call, they're starting with some shock tactics. They're going to confront her with her biggest indulgences, starting on the seabed.
Hello, I'm Jay.
Nice to meet you. Hiya.
Benjamin.
Jay and Benjamin hope their plan will force Anna to realise just how much she squanders on little treats.
Where are they?
Lots of fun.
Come with me, Anna. I want to show you something.
Oh my god, what have you done?
Sorry we've ruined your duvet.
That's lovely.
Really, what this fish represents is the money that you are spending going out.
This is like if your dining out budget was translated to fresh fish.
Yeah.
This is based on you eating your favourite seafood and shellfish about 3 times a week. How much do you think you're spending every year on your favourite dinners?
Hundreds and thousands, probably, yeah.
Would you like to know the total?
Go on then.
£5,760
No way.
goes on shellfish.
I think 3 times a week is a bit extreme, but I would have said probably like once a week. To be honest with you, I would have gone out and bought seafood, maybe twice a week, but not 3 times.
We've seen your bank statements and we've seen the money you spend, so you can tell us it's 2 times a week if you like. But we know where your money's going.
You know the real truth. There's no point in lying. OK.
Well, if that isn't enough, we've got another little surprise for you to show you in the kitchen.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Come on in.
I think this
Come
is
on
probably accurate, actually.
Come on in.
It is shocking, but I would...
You might notice that it's not just the table, because we couldn't fit this much coffee on one table. Now, this represents your designer coffee intake over 1 year. How much money do you think that costs?
About 1,000 or so?
Yeah, OK, let's try £3,285 in 1 year on designer coffees.
No,
That is quite a lot.
It's quite a lot of money, because you do have a kettle.
But if you just bought one of these and kept the cup for the rest of the week, you could still go to work at the same time. You could still have a cup of coffee. You could still be on the move, and you'd be saving a bit of money.
But how many people do you know that do that?
People who are in debt like you, who need to do something to stop things like this happening.
I don't know, I just feel in a way justified buying my coffee every day because it's my little treat.
If it was your only treat, you could maybe justify it. Yeah. But from going through your statements, you do an awful lot of treating yourselves to things that you can't really afford, and this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Also, here's the thing you've really got to think about. You say it's just a couple of cups of coffee, but look around the room. Yeah. It's not a couple of cups of coffee.
It all adds up.
It all adds up.
Apparently I spend over £5,000 a year on seafood, which is just ridiculous. I also spend £3,000 a year on coffee. And also, what bloody rip-off it is. All it is hot water and, you know, a few beans.
With lattes to go, Anna's about to feel even more shortchanged. To put together a plan for Anna's future, Benjamin and Jay need an idea of what she can and can't live without. For 7 days, she'll have to tighten the money belt and hope she doesn't buckle.
Right, Anna. This is where we introduce you to our cold turkey. OK, so what we want to do, first of all, we want to ask you how much money you think you spend on non-essential items in a week.
About £200.
That's not a bad guess, but actually the real figure is £350.
No, I don't.
On an average week.
I think
does that surprise you?
Yes, it does.
Now this is what you are spending on non-essential items in just 1 week, 7 days.
I think you're going to be surprised, actually, at just seeing that money, because when we've been going through your statements, you are the woman who spends £1.90 on a credit card in a coffee shop. I think if you actually had to start using one of these old-fashioned things to pay for some things in the shop, it might start to hammer home.
It feels a bit excessive. I feel a bit ashamed, actually.
How much do you think you could live on?
Probably enjoy myself on £100, to be honest with you, without having to make too many sacrifices. I'd like to say, oh yes, I could do, you know, sort of £40, but I think that would be really hard. No, I don't want to though.
The idea of the cold turkey is that you are supposed to go through it a week, just 1 week, spending literally as little money as possible.
Okay.
And what we want to achieve with that is we want you to notice what you really miss, so we can get down to what you actually need in your life and what you actually don't. What we're trying to do here is get down to a minimum for the next 7 days.
I think £40 would hurt. I'll just try and do my best and...
£40?
Yeah, I mean that's actually. I think I could easily do that.
That's your best offer?
I mean, do you want me to make it even lower?
No, I think we can.
I'll come back looking good.
Yeah, great.
Sounds great for us, as we were going to offer you 60. I'm kidding.
Here you are.
Oh no, that was foolish.
£40.
£200.
£40 for you for cold turkey for the next week.
And that is it. No credit cards, nothing else. That's all you've got in your pocket for 7 days.
Okay.
With only £40 to live on, Benjamin and Jay are far from convinced that Anna will make the week.
I think when she says she's going to really make an effort, she believes it, but I think she's in a massive state of denial.
She will find it an emotional experience to live with less. I think the coffee's an emotional crutch, I think the shopping's an emotional crutch, and beneath that are some real issues.
It's almost like the urge comes up to want to spend, therefore she has to do it. And when she hasn't got the money to do it with this week, I think it's going to hit her much harder than she thinks.
Of course, Anna's response is far from ecstatic.
I think I've sort of shot myself in the foot a little bit because £40 to me is not very much money. It's not going to get me very far for a whole week. It's going to be hell. It's going to be horrible. I'm not going to enjoy it at all.
With her weekly spending budget slashed from £350 to £40, something's got to give. First up are those expensive designer coffees.
This is my breakfast. Peanut butter and jam sandwich and a nice cup of coffee. Proper cup of coffee, actually. If I put jam and peanut butter on frozen bread, it means by the time I get to work that it's thawed. I know it sounds disgusting, but at least it's fresh and it's soft and it's nice. And my takeout coffee, which was fundamental as part of my morning mantra, and the takeout breakfast. I mean,
You know, I make that and I drink it on the train. It's for some reason it just tastes better in this cup, and I can still sort of delude myself.
It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. Anna starts brewing her own and drinking from a takeout cup, just as Jay suggested. But can she last the working day without her daily fix?
Day one. Started off the day, ching, 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 with my £40. I was walking past Topshop and I found myself being sort of lured in by the cry of lots of clothes calling, Anna, Anna, give me a home. Ended the day, haha, with all of it. All my £40, didn't spend a penny. I'm so pleased I haven't spent a single penny. So that will go back in my wallet and we'll see how I get on tomorrow.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Anna's given her credit cards the push and flexes a different kind of plastic, her gym card. Instead of eating out, Anna's opted for the pioneering approach of eating in for the whole week. She can't remember the last time she did a weekly shop, and compared to the £60 she'd normally spend on one meal out, it's a bargain.
I've just cut down, like I've just had like one coffee instead of like 3 coffees a day or something ridiculous, you know, and I've been making food at home and sandwiches and things like that. Even if it's just like one day a week, just not spending any money, that'll soon add up.
Psychological coach Benjamin Fry is a self-help author and broadsheet columnist who had to conquer his own demons. Experience has shown him that most people's problems in the present are echoes of unresolved issues from the past. He thinks there's more to Anna's spending than meets the eye and wants to start digging deeper.
The shopping that you've done that maybe has contributed to building up these debts is possibly your way of unwinding.
It's my way of unwinding, definitely. It's a release. It's almost like a reward.
Giving yourself a present, treating yourself, does carry an emotional component to it. And I'm quite interested to see what we can deduce from that emotional component to try and help you to change the way that you interact perhaps with spending money, because separate out the one from the other. So what I would like to ask you to think about talking with me, if it's all right, is talking a bit about your family history and your life as a child and as you grew up and things like that, because that's usually what contributes to a person's emotional makeup.
Yeah, I mean, at one point we had quite a lot of money, and because my mum and dad had both inherited a lot of money from their wider family network.
Right.
So
as you grew up, you were aware there was a lot of money in the family? Or not really aware of it, just aware that you constantly had nice things?
We went on loads of holidays. We had loads and loads of holidays, but it was really unfortunate because obviously as time went on, eventually all your money gets used up on living.
Is that what happened?
And that's what happened, yeah. I mean, my parents got a divorce when I was 16. They weren't...
Around the same time?
Yeah, there were a lot of rows and a lot of, I think they were just... So
there was a lot of anger in the house as you grew up?
Yeah, I think my dad had a difficult childhood, and that gave him a difficult adulthood as well.
Benjamin thinks that by overspending, Anna is reliving the happy time she had when her parents were together and money was no object.
I get a sense that there's a lot of fear that's kind of hung over in your life, maybe from that time. And I think the love that you were receiving in your family ran a bit dry. The money ran dry. So when you get out your credit card, it's almost like you're borrowing love. And love is what we all crave, rich or poor, actually.
I'm sure that's all true, but it's like I would rather just forget my childhood and move on.
But the trouble is that the childhood won't forget you because it's stuck inside your body. Internally and externally, you manifest this sort of sense of insecurity. And I think that this is because from your childhood, there's a great deal of insecurity, which was terrifying at the time, that you've pushed to one side. Your work life is contract-based, it's quite insecure.
Yeah, very, very insecure, yeah.
Your personal financial situation is insecure. And finance is a great metaphor for security or lack of security. But for me, the whole theme of your life is one of lost security.
Yeah.
So I think that's something we're going to think about working on. And if you don't mind, I'm going to go and see your mother. down in Bognor Regis.
Yeah.
And chat to her about some stuff.
Yeah.
And just get a clearer picture of your background and how it's been with her. And maybe bring some of this stuff up with her. From what we've got through so far, it's been clear that there were issues in her past that related to money in the family, and there were issues in the family with the divorce of her parents. And that does seem to be quite a coincidence to me, in that now she's manifesting her life in a way that doesn't give her any kind of domestic security, and she's also losing any chance of financial security by spending so much money and becoming in debt.
I felt torn by what he'd said. Just brought up a whole load of emotions there that I hadn't ever felt. I am quite insecure, and I am single. And then of course he said all of these things, and they all felt like he was saying, your life's shit. Perhaps instead of pushing security away, I should encourage some security into my life.
Anna's celebrating the last day of her week-long money diet by having a drink with a friend. She's determined to stand firm, but will she wobble when it comes to champagne?
Not sure about that, really. No, but he takes Got a little cheeky tip of the day, a bit naughty, probably a little bit legal as well, but it's brilliant. I have a little hip flask, ching ching, and I bought this, and I've never actually ever used it until now. But it's great, you know, if you have cranberry juice, it's only like £1 from the bar. Spike it with some vodka and you've got a right proper nice cocktail there that would be, you know, about £6 in the average London bar. So, pretty good stuff.
I'm actually getting a real buzz out of whereas I used to get like a thrill out of spending, I'm actually getting a thrill out of saving. I've got rid of all that guilt and all that, you know, feeling like I'm spending out of control. I now feel a lot more structured in my spending.
Anna may have survived her week of cold turkey, but she still needs a firm grip on the purse if she's going to shift that £15,000 debt. Lifestyle expert Jay Hunt has come to launch Anna's new life with a brand new budget.
So, cold turkey, you've done it. 7 days, well done for surviving it. How did you get on? Have you got any money left? Are you in the red?
I've actually... Oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it, if I was in the red? No, I actually have... Oh, I have this left. £7.65.
You really?
Yes, indeed.
God, that's really good, Anna.
So, but a lot of people have bought me drinks, one person's bought me a meal.
Jay is giving Anna a tight budget, which should ease her debt. Over the next 3 weeks, she will show Anna how to be a social butterfly without having a financial flutter. Anna's main indulgences are dressing up and eating out. So Jay's worked out a strict budget. If Anna can halve her spending in these two key areas, she'll save around £650 every month. Trouble is, Anna's a girl about town. She loves good food, and spending £60 on a meal comes as naturally as lobster thermidor. But with a new budget on the table, eating out has run its course. Jay is determined to show Anna another side of London life. She's brought her to Borough Market for a taste of quality food for a fraction of restaurant prices.
What we're going to do today is take the average amount that you've been spending, OK, on a dinner, which, as we know, is £60. So that's one meal out for you. I'm going to give you that money, OK? You, tonight, are going to be cooking dinner at home, your favourites. You're going to do moule marinière, and you're going to do Spanish prawns with garlic. Now, I don't want you to have to worry about the alcohol, OK? Because your friends who are coming are all going to bring a bottle, so you don't have to worry about the bubbles at all. So all we've got to worry about is making sure that our £60 buys everything on this list. Let's go shopping. See the amount of choice that you've got here? You know, your eyes are starting to light up. It's exciting food shopping.
2 kilograms of mussels, please.
2 kilos of mussels.
Yeah, lovely.
So we want 20 large prawns. How much is that?
It's £26.90.
For the whole lot? There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a very different shopping experience for Anna. An overload of delicious sights and smells that leave her dazzled. Can it be she's getting the same buzz here as she does from all those pricey restaurants?
Really, you know,
know, obviously, really like some strawberries, and they are kind of a little bit more on there.
Take one of these bags.
Yep.
And then you can actually get to choose which bits of salad you put in. If you know you like rocket, just go for it with the rocket.
Yeah.
Okay, now tomatoes. Baby tomatoes, cherry ones on the vine, baby Santas. Just keep your eyes peeled because some of them are priced as kilos and some of them are priced per punnet. How much is that?
£6.95.
£6.95, Anna.
That's £10.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Whoa, Anna, coming in under budget. It's a popular spot. Everybody's in the know apart from you. So, Anna, a new shopping experience that was. How did you find that?
It's brilliant. I've really, really enjoyed it.
What today has shown is that, you know, you can get the same amount of excitement over spending £2.50 on a loaf of bread as you can spending 60 quid on a jacket. So we started this morning with £60. We've got everything that was on our list. Congratulations, Anna, because you've actually come in £20.65p under budget. Good luck with tonight.
Take care. See you later.
Fortunately, Anna's repertoire stretches beyond peanut butter and jam sandwiches. And she won't be serving this treat in a takeaway cup.
Yeah, usually when I don't know how to cook something, I just phone my mum. It's been quite a fiddly meal to prepare. I ain't got time. God, we've used all that olive oil, wow. This is so exciting for me because I never cook.
Her friends have even brought the champagne, so another saving there.
Wild.
Everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So what have we got here? What have you cooked for me?
We've got mussels, we've got prawns.
Wow, this is lovely.
It was all Borough Market. It's like the Harrods of markets. And then it was visually spectacular. I was just surprised. I didn't really even realise it was there, but it must be like a London secret. That's where all the chefs go, you know, for their restaurant. I got everything for about £40. I mean, which probably sounds a lot, but then we are talking the Gucci of markets here. Wow.
Nice spread.
So I think I've done all right.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's wicked.
Fantastic.
I'm expecting this obviously on a regular basis now. I think we should make a big toast to you for making such a fantastic meal.
So.
Cheers to you. Well done.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Good meal.
As Anna wakes up to the possibility of a high life on a low budget, Benjamin remains focused on digging out the roots of her problem. He's on his way to Bognor Regis to meet Anna's mother, Wendy, and explore his hunch that Anna has yet to face the emotional fallout of her parents' breakup when she was 16. Until she confronts those feelings of lost security, she'll continue to fill this emotional deficit with a financial one.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, come on in.
How are you? Nice to meet you. I had a very good chat with Anna, one-to-one, the other day, in relation to the issue of her spending more money than she earns, basically.
Good, I'm glad you have, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I always pinpoint it to when she was working where she earned lots of money.
Right.
And she got into the habit at that stage of having a lot of nice things, travelling a lot, going away a lot for weekends. And then that only lasted for a year, but that habit...
How did that end?
Well,
suddenly?
It was fairly sudden.
See, for me, that's such a parallel with her childhood, because she had not a job, but a family that seemed to have lots of money. She got in the habit of travelling, nice things, and then suddenly it's ended.
Yes, that does make sense. Yeah.
It's possible that the emotional component of the spending is her way of compensating for the fact that she never really closed off that time of saying... It didn't really get closure on, I guess, the end of her parents' marriage. For me, I see it very simply being summed up as she's confusing money with love. And I think that we need to, instead of having money equaling love, we need to have love equaling love.
Makes sense, yeah.
And I think then the money, in a sense, may take care of itself. I just wanted to check how open you really feel to sitting down with her and doing something that's not only difficult for her, but also really difficult for you, which is really actually sharing feelings rather than hiding behind the busyness of life.
Yeah, I think now that you've kind of brought it to a head, as it were, it will be much easier. I mean, I don't think either of us would have thought of sitting down and talking in depth about things, but now you've mentioned it, and yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely all for it.
Benjamin's talk with Wendy has confirmed his theory. All he needs now is to persuade Anna to talk to her mother. Sounds simple, but Benjamin knows it won't be.
I think these kind of things are very hard to bring up in a family setting, and often in England our culture is terribly biased against communication and openness. I think it's inevitable that some of these things are going to be upsetting. I suspect, though, that the first step will be really trying to get people in the family to start to communicate about things that Anna's never really felt she had permission to talk about. Probably stuff that maybe Anna looks at and thinks, I can't talk about that because it seems negative and therefore it seems ungrateful to my parents.
It's 2 weeks into Anna's money makeover. Psychological coach Benjamin has started to deal with her emotional issues, while lifestyle expert Jay has given her a new budget and opened up a creative alternative to dining out. But temptation is never far away. Anna turns 30 next week and wants to throw a party, but the cost could reach a damaging £1,000. Lifestyle coach Jay Hunt is on hand with advice on keeping the costs down.
Hi, Anna.
Hi.
How are you?
Very well.
Good. I'm just sort of slightly worried that, you know, with something like a 30th birthday, if we're not careful, it could absolutely tip the balance over. And I just wondered what your plans were. I mean,
I'd like to provide all the canapes. I'd like to lay on some drinks, maybe some food. And if money was no object, I'd do that all myself.
Right. OK, so that's fantasy 5 minutes of Anna. What I've come up with is I'd like you to just spend a bit of time and do a bit of research, OK? Because it is possible that you can pick some really nice bars and places, because what you can do is some of them will give over a designated area. If you say that you have X amount of people guaranteed to come and party with you, they're buying their own drinks. You know, these places are quite savvy. They want your custom, they want your friends in there spending money in there. And for that, you don't actually have to pay anything.
I really don't want to pay too much money, so if I could cut any corners, like have the birthday cake, buy it from Tesco's or something, or a bakery, and then have that in there. And I mean, because I'm going to be giving them a lot of money at the bar, surely I should be able to negotiate around that.
I think if you plan in advance, then nothing's going to be a surprise. I think it would be a shame if at the last minute, due to a panic, you're kind of chucking money at your 30th birthday, when in advance we could sort of work it out, which would mean you could have fun and it could be stylish and you can be surrounded by all your friends. But when you wake up on Sunday, you're not going to be thinking, oh no, I can't believe that I spent all that money on a night that I can't remember. All right, so I'll give you these, and that can be your research project, all right?
Jay's theory is that you don't always have to go cheap to get something for free. Good deals can be had in expensive places, provided you do your legwork and a little savvy negotiation. Anna's first target is a fashionable bar in Soho. Can she get away without guaranteeing any money?
My birthday in a few weeks' time, and I'm looking for a bar.
If you're not having food and you just wanted to do like a minimum spend and just drink, then we'd probably set you in a minimum spend, which would probably be around £1,000 for what you're talking about.
So I've got a guarantee, £1,000 behind the bar.
Yeah, what we'd ask is for 25% of that as a deposit up front, and obviously that would be refunded to you if and when the minimum spend was met.
Not what Anna wants to hear, but she's got the bit between her teeth and rises to the challenge.
We can have it exclusive for you for the whole night. There's no charge at all for it.
Really? Do you have to guarantee to spend behind the bar or anything?
No spend behind the bar at all.
Now she knows it can be done, she raises the stakes and goes for an expensive venue in Mayfair. Certainly not the cheapest part of town. Negotiation skills at the ready, she's determined to get a place she really wants.
First of all, how much is it to hire out?
Just some drinks.
Yeah.
Okay, we can say it's going to be a minimum of 1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens if I don't get 1,000 behind the bar?
Not sure, we can find something, always.
Really? I must say, I love this bar. It's up to people.
Finally, the legwork's paid off. Anna's got the bar she wants for free and got them to waive their minimum spend of £1,000.
Of course they can.
Brilliant. Okay.
All of Anna's best friends have made the party, even a contingent from Bognor, despite knowing they'll have to buy their own drinks.
This one thing, it's like 5 things, and then from each shop.
Determined to cut costs even further, Anna's brought along her own birthday cake. While it's from Tesco's, no one can tell under all those candles. Anna's 30th birthday is a massive hit, but only cost her a modest £90. She's learning fast. The party might have been a success, but it's Monday morning and Anna's come crashing down to earth. She's 30, and the bad news is she's just lost her job.
My boss wanted to talk to me about at 8:30 this morning, so I went in and he said to me, I decided I'd like to let you go. In other words, he'd give me the sack. It just feels a bit horrible, really. Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. I just feel absolutely knackered, just feel absolutely exhausted. I feel like I've been through the ringer.
Part of the reason Anna has problems with money is due to the fact her income is very unstable as she lives the precarious life of a freelancer. With her £15,000 debt, she needs to find work fast, but can't afford to take the first thing on offer.
Are you, or anyone else for that matter, dealing with the project support ×5 role? I'm not. I've been on there £200 a day for the last 6 months, and then prior to that I was on £350 a day. No, of course you're not. No. Thank you for your help. Bye. Nothing there, really. One of those phone calls when they're desperately trying to get you off the phone. So they're saying whatever they want, you know, whatever they can do. Like, I'll get back to you, I'll definitely get back to you. You're like, yeah, right. The thought of being out of work and looking for a job is bloody awful. You could get quite despondent after a while, sort of, you know, slogging away like this, you know, picking up the phone, chat, you know, put the phone on. I refuse to get really stressed and pissed off about it. I mean, last time I was unemployed, went on holiday, which probably wasn't the best to cheer myself up.
That's certainly not going to happen this time. With Anna now unemployed, Jay and Benjamin have called a crisis meeting.
There are beautiful things on. So how do you think Anna's doing?
I've really highlighted with her the issue of the lack of security in her life. A big issue, and you see it in every area of her life. Of course, adding to that cocktail of insecurity is the fact that she has just lost her job. And as a contractor, the thing that she prizes, because she thinks it makes her more money, she had no security in her contract. Again, another lack of security. And that's rough on her, because she's in debt. She needs the income every month. So I'm going to try and nibble away on the security issues.
I agree with you about the security.
So I just want to see her start a dialogue with her mother about the family history and about those times that aren't easy to talk about, neither easy for her mother nor for her. If she can begin that journey, then everything else will slowly fall into place.
Anna might need something a bit inspirational at the moment, something to help her focus, because obviously, you know, with her losing her job, I don't think she's feeling great. Maybe let's just show her some alternative ways of living. I might even take her to show her some properties and say, you know, this is what you could be aiming for if you reassess how you're spending. I just think a bit of a cheer-up inspiration to help her move forward could be a good thing at this stage.
To keep Anna focused and stop her from spending to cheer herself up, Jay wants to inspire her with a long-term goal. Anna can earn up to £50,000 per year. If she gets a job with a longer contract and sticks to her new budget, she could eventually afford to buy a flat in London for £260,000, with bedrooms and a lounge. Jay's found the place for Anna, and it's just around the corner from where she lives.
I like the windows.
After you, Stuart. Oh, look, it's your own front door.
Oh, the lovely high ceilings already.
Very high ceilings. Come in, shut the door.
Yes, it's freezing cold.
Now, look. This is the living room. Come and have a look.
Oh, my God.
What do you think of this?
Wow, that's gorgeous. This is
imagine
really
yourself
nice. Well, do you know what? I can't because I live in such a scuzzle right now, but it's just really, really nice.
You've perked up now. Look at this, beaming away.
Beautiful. It's lovely, though, isn't it?
I mean, this is a really nice size. I know, really pretty windows,
pretty.
nice sofas, your own really nice living room.
I mean, it obviously won't come with any furniture, so you look at the space, and the space itself is beautiful, and it seems like a very nice area as well.
Anna's shared rented flats for 5 years, but is starting to realise the true value of owning and living in your own space.
Yes, it's gorgeous. This is lovely, and you really imagine yourself cooking in here because it's all sort of clean and not some old grubby cooker from the 40s, you know. It's all...
Well, you've already done, you know, cooking once for sort of kitchen supper.
Yeah.
So this would just be same again in here. But it's very nice.
It's so lovely though.
Yeah.
And there's even a second bedroom, which is a real asset.
What they've done with it is obviously turn it into an office, plenty of room for books.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice. I mean, you could get a double bed in here. It's not the most enormous room, but in a way, you know, this is something that would be Anna's flat, and this is your safety net. If you're out of a job, or you need something, or you want some extra money, or you want to go off travelling for a bit, this is your safety net, isn't it, really?
But the real showstopper is the main bedroom.
Wow.
So this would be your main bedroom. Lots and lots of storage space. Oh, my Lord. 4 wardrobes for you to fill.
4 built-in wardrobes.
They don't all have to be crammed with stuff. And I just think it's really lovely to be able to be in bed and look out over the garden. I mean, how nice is that in
London
the summer?
as well. I mean, that's amazing to have that.
This is kind of, you know, what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
When you get to this point, do you think that you would be happy enough in a space like this to be in it?
I'd absolutely love it. I mean, to me, this would be my dream come true.
Do you think this helps when you think about this and can remember what this flat looks like, to focus when you are tempted to think, oh, it's only 20 quid here, or oh, I'm feeling miserable, I'll go out for dinner tonight?
Definitely. Yeah.
Do you think
absolutely.
seeing this...
No, I agree with you, totally. Yeah, the short-term fixes aren't going to help me in my long-term goal.
A bit of reprogramming and a bit of effort, and there's no reason why you can't be living in a really nice space like this.
Today was fantastic because, I mean, every day's been completely different, but today was like a complete surprise to see this beautiful, beautiful house. Oh, it was just like something out of my dreams. It's absolutely amazing because I have gone from this morning thinking, what? You know, that's just an absolutely bloody ridiculous idea to move out, to, hey, I want to move out. It really, really focused me on a goal, on something that is achievable.
With her dream flat tantalisingly within reach, Anna's even more fired up to find a new job.
I know people that spent 6 months getting a job. The thought of not having any money coming in is actually quite scary.
She's got an interview for a management position with a major holiday firm. At last, she could be going places.
Oh, I feel really nervous, I feel really sick, and that means I'm really pathetic and naff. I just want to get on with it, really.
The competition is stiff. Anna's interview lasts 2.5 hours, and she'll have to wait a week for a decision. Anna is 3 weeks into her money makeover. Still unemployed, she's managed to keep clear of shops and keep her spending down. But psychological coach Benjamin Fry is concerned that Anna has also managed to avoid facing the emotional issues behind her spending, namely her parents' divorce. It's time to knuckle down.
I want to find out what's happened with you and your mum.
My mum is like my best friend, and we would talk about
absolutely anything. Yeah, but that's not what she said about... You would talk about anything, but you don't. She said that you haven't actually talked about those issues for a long time. Not talk to you full stop, but talk to you about the stuff that I was discussing with her, about your family history, and particularly about things about money and love. Remember, we talked about
rubbish, though. We talk all the time. Sorry, that's just...
Well...
load of crap.
Well, she said to me that these weren't the sort...
all the time, every time I go down.
All the time. But she said you don't talk about deep emotional stuff about your childhood.
What we do, though, we do all the time. It always comes up in conversation.
You know, you can talk a great deal, but it's not always the most natural thing to talk about the stuff that perhaps is difficult. I'm talking about, you know, the stuff that's emotional.
Yeah.
The stuff that's the core emotional response to some of the things that went on for no one's fault in your childhood, but you experienced.
And we do talk about emotional things. I think we both get really upset.
People are people, they do get upset.
Yeah.
What's actually damaging to people is to get upset and to not to externalise that sense of being upset. I don't think there's anything you can say to your mum that will make your life any worse.
So what, I mean, what sort of things are you sort of driving at then?
Lots of parents get divorced, and lots of parents have conversations with their adult children about it 10, 15, 20, 35 years later, because it's stuff that often needs resolving. What I'm saying is look at the fundamental psychological architecture that you have that is causing the spending in the first place. Because I believe that if you change the way you feel, your habits will change automatically anyway. So what are you going to do with your mum? What are you going to do?
When the opportunity presents itself, I might ask my mum how she felt when I was growing up.
How about you ring up your mum and you say, Mum, I'm going to come down on X afternoon because there's something I really want to talk to you about. So you create the opportunity. Why not be master of your own destiny?
Yeah.
It felt almost like interrogation, and it also felt like someone's slating your life, you know, and it's just like, Christ, you know, this is so personal, you know. I am quite happy to put all my trust in him. I will definitely give it a try, because you know, if it's that important, which it appears to be, to Benjamin, then yes, I will embrace that and do that.
It's 7:30 on Saturday morning and the wheels are in motion. It's Bognor or bust, as Anna heads for a heart-to-heart with her mum and a face-to-face with her difficult past.
I don't really want to do this, to be honest with you, but I will. I'll put a brave face on it. Talking about something that's quite serious and quite, you know, an unhappy time in my life, I don't think anyone would particularly want to talk about that. Because you want to, you know, I think we have problems in life. You just want to bury your head in the sand, get on with it, you know. I think my mum didn't have a very good marriage, obviously, and we all know that. But it was just, you know, how did that happen in the first place? Why did she end up with this person? And, you know, why did that happen? We've all been brought up is not to discuss anything. But that's just how everyone's brought up, isn't it?
While some of her childhood memories are far from happy, Anna does have fond recollections of growing up in Bognor.
I'm really pleased to have been brought up around here, really pleased. I remember, you know, going down to the beach in Feltham, it's not very far, walking down the beach, swimming in the sea, walking back home with a towel wrapped around you. To me, it's like a little mini Blackpool. It's quite cheesy. The pear and the candy floss and the sticks of rock and the, I don't know, the crazy golf and the bowling, and you know, it's quite fantastic if you just appreciate it for its naffness.
This is the first time that Anna and her mum have made time to share their true feelings about the family breakup. It's not going to be easy, and proves to be an experience that's too painful to share with the camera. They pace the beach alone, talking about the emotional issues of the past that still haunt Anna today, and that Benjamin believes are responsible for her current financial problems and insecurities.
We talked about, you know, I think we talked about all the good things and all the bad things. I think my mum has been a success in everything in life. And then obviously to not have a good marriage, she said that she felt it was like her fault. And that really chipped away at her self-esteem. So, I mean, she never said that before, but I really feel sorry for my mum. I think she must have been very lonely at the time and not been able to talk to anyone herself. And I feel, you know, poor old thing to have to go through all that on her own. But yet, of course, the first time in my life I've really, really understood that more than ever, whereas I wouldn't have understood that before. So, of course, as a child, you can't see it from the adult point of view. You just sort of wonder what the hell's all this about, you know, what's going on. And also, you almost think it's normal when you kind of know it's not normal because it's not right. So it's just really horrible. But you don't... I think when you're in these situations, you immerse yourself in the situation. You try and make it right. You try and make it right because that's what life's all about, isn't it? Working at things to try and make them, you know, good. And if they're not good, you try and make them good.
Anna has faced her fears and talked to her mother about her childhood. Finally starting to deal with what happened in the past, she can now look to a secure future in control of her life and finances. It's been 1 month since Anna finished her money makeover, and she's invited Jay and Benjamin round for supper. It's been a struggle keeping to her budget, but she's been determined to shake off her debt and start afresh. She still makes her own coffee, and she's confined her eating out to once a month. Benjamin and Jay are keen to find out what else has changed.
And I got the job.
Hey, great!
Which was really good. So, I mean, I feel more confident, much more confident with this job than I ever have.
But you seem more confident, I have to say, since the Anna we met when we first started.
Do you feel more confident? You look different. You look like there's a sort of weight has fallen from your shoulders.
Do I really?
You look more relaxed on your face and happier, actually.
I'm actually in quite a happy time. Yeah, definitely. No.
This all sounds really positive and you know, really encouraging on so many different levels. But bringing it back to, of course, what we started off doing, just looking at your finances.
Yeah.
How much money do you think you have maybe saved or now have that you wouldn't have had if it hadn't done this process together?
Well, I've saved at least £1,000, probably 1,500.
That's great.
Yeah. There's a few credit card companies that are out of pocket since I started. Quite a few, actually. I've got down to just the one emergency credit card. In the past, when I've had good jobs, I would have spent it down to the penny. I've never been this disciplined in my life, you know. And even then, I still think I've got a long way to go, you know. Yeah.
How does it feel to be this disciplined?
I mean, I have good days and I have bad days. So it was a bad day with, you know, CDs bought and a few bits and bobs, and then other days I really would be hard on myself, and
So it's still tough. It's still a struggle, but you feel at the end of the day the result makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm visualising that house, you know, that flat loads, and. You know, just every time I go into Crouchdown, I just think, gosh, this would be amazing. This would be absolutely incredible to own a house in London. I mean, that is like my dream, and also that is a lot of security there and having a house in a nice area. And I just think that, you know, if I make a few cutbacks here and there.
Doesn't sound to me like there's many things out there that are going to put you off that track.
Yeah, definitely. But I've got something I want to show you.
Both
this way, both of you.
Okay.
Walk this way. Close your eyes.
With her life more in order, it's time for her room. Anna's spending less money out by spending more time in, so she's made her home as cosy as possible.
You can look up now. Sorry, look up now. Look up now. Look
Open
up.
eyes.
Open eyes. Look around.
Wow, Anna! Look at this.
Look at this, not a Jude Law in sight.
That
Amazing.
is a big transformation. Can I look in here? I'm just being nosy now. I want to see how far. Oh, look!
That's incredible. That almost looks like a real person's wardrobe now. I can't believe it's the same thing.
All of this, that was just full of all those bags and everything.
At the beginning, your life was just a total mess, and so were your drawer. And now your drawer is very organised and shows that you can get anything you need out of it, and that's what your life's like. It's organised, and whatever you want out of it, you can find it.
It's so nice. You know what? I was so rude about this room, wasn't I? God, what a mess!
Yeah, more spillage.
Like a bloody junkyard. Right, I have to say, looking around at this, I take it all back, Anna. So, Anna, when you're here and you're lying in bed and you're just looking around at your sort of new, fabulous, tidy room, do you like that feeling?
I do, I love it. Because this actually, in a strange kind of way, reminds me, you know, remember when we went to the flat?
Yeah.
You know, the house that we really loved. This room
reminds me
of that. Yes.
When I came in here first, I just thought this is a person whose life is in transit. You really have no idea where you are or where you're going. Now you look at it and think this is a person who's really serious about creating security, about creating a home. I mean, this is actually your first step towards getting to that home that you imagine yourself being in. So it really speaks of a different person. And I think there's a lot about what you're externalising here, which shows that on a deeper level, there have been internal changes with you.
Yeah.
And this is the way I always look at people, is that if you change what's within, then it can't help but come out on the outside. And that's really what I see in you, and I think that's very gratifying.
I think this is a great space to be in.
Physically and emotionally.
Hey. Anna has definitely started her journey towards paying back her debts and getting really back on track.
It's not a big surprise that she's able to now make inroads into the headline issue of the debt, because she's actually made inroads into the underlying issues that I believe were the reason she got into debt in the first place.
I think she is much, much happier, and I think she's much less worried, and that has really calmed her down.
And I'm very pleased for her. I think we went into some of the psychological stuff quite aggressively, which always concerns me, but in her case I think we can see real dividends have come out of that.
It's definitely made me think differently about everything, because I don't know, the things I want now are just different in a way, and I think anything that was about security and permanence I would reject and I didn't want, but then at the same time the irony is that I really, really did want that.